wish everybody would leave me alone. Am I crazy? I don't know. I'm such a wreck up in my head. Don't it make me human though? Got all this baggage but nowhere to go. Am I lonely? Maybe so. Starting to shake, it's all I can take. I'm about to lose control. I'm seeing double. I got the itch. Think I'm in trouble. I gotta feed my habit 'cause I need to have it. I'm a freak for madness. I'm a little bit obsessed. My brain gets static, can't stop taking habit. Might be post-traumatic. I'm a little bit obsessed. All of my therapists hitting the road, knock them down like dominoes. They all believe they're fixing me. Maybe I just need some more. I'm seeing double. I got the itch. Think I'm in trouble. I gotta feed my habit 'cause I need to have it. I'm a freak for madness. I'm a little bit obsessed. My brain gets static, can't stop taking habit. Might be post-traumatic. I'm a little bit obsessed. Wish everybody would leave me alone. Am I crazy? I don't know. I'm a little bit obsessed.
I can feel the fire burn in my heart, make it through the twists and turns, out of the darkness, built from broken bones. When times are tough, I walk ahead and brave the storm. Skies opened up, I'm not hiding anymore. I keep on moving, carving at the stone. I'm alive, got air in my lungs and my heart beats fast. It's a beautiful, crazy life. I'm alive, I'm feeling the sun and I won't look back. I'm running to chase the light. It's a beautiful, crazy life. I can see the mountains move. In my heart, I knew that I would make it through. I'm running free now. I love these open roads. There were days I felt like I was not enough. There were nights I came so close to giving up. But I keep breathing. I'm holding on to hope. I'm alive, got air in my lungs and my heart beats fast. It's a beautiful, crazy life. I'm alive, I'm feeling the sun and I won't look back. I'm running to chase the light. It's a beautiful, crazy life. Beautiful, crazy life. It's a beautiful, crazy life.
Yo!
Yo!
Wrong one on there. What happened here? All right. Welcome to 2024, everyone.
2024. 2024. Wow.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I said, how you doing? And you just kind of blew over that.
I did blow over that, didn't I? I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. What about you? What about you?
Living the dream,
What about
man.
you?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. Living the dream, yeah.
We made it. We made it to the new year. So
We made it all the way here.
it's good. It's always good. Got to remember how to get everything set up here. It's been a bit. It's been a bit.
My volume is low?
Yeah, which volume
Crystal
is
is-
low? Oh, don't tell me it. Oh, no, I did it again.
No, you sound good.
They're saying I sound tinny. I'm sensitive on that part. What the?
God.
What?
Oh, and my light is too bright. My light is too. Oh no, it's the shirt. It's the shirt.
No, that's
it's
fine.
the shirt.
All right.
Yeah, this
Chat
sound
Master C,
overexposed.
tell me. Oh my God. Toma says I sound good.
Can we just roll with it? Can we just
All
roll
right,
with it?
I'm gonna
please?
roll, but it's. Ugh.
Let's just.
I did a
Let's
test.
just roll with
I
it.
did a test. So yeah, I did a test before we did it, and everything was fine. So all right, we're gonna roll. All right.
Can we just roll?
So welcome everyone. Happy to have you here. 2024, kicking it off. If you are new to the to GynaCube or the live stream, put #new in the chat. We always love seeing the new faces, especially kicking off 2024. We're happy to have you. Yeah, Kevin, just roll with it. Yeah, I know, but it's
Come on,
if
man.
it's-
Let's roll with it.
If it's
Let's roll with
low, it's low, and we need to crank it up. Yeah, so put #new in there. Also, shout out to all of the members of GynaCube. You help us do what we do here, and we greatly appreciate it. Big thanks for that. If you see folks with a green name or a GynaCube logo next to their name, those are members of GynaCube. So special shout out to you. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about being a member, check out the link on the screen or hit the join button down below to learn more. No commitment required. Just big thanks for checking it out. Thank you for that. Also, while we're here, I'm just going to do a little plug here. We are coming up. March is creeping up ever so quickly. And there is the Fabric Community Conference going on in March, and so be sure to register for it. We would love to see you there, and you can go to the link on the screen to learn more about it, and you can use discount code CUBE100 to get $100 off. What's up?
But you forgot. That's big. That's huge. That's a huge event, huge conference coming up. But we're going to Oslo.
We are.
Yeah.
I don't have a discount code for that one, though.
I know you don't. But it's Fabric February. If you just go to the internet's search engine of choice, Bing, and search for Fabric February in Oslo. I don't know if they're sold out or not, but Adam and I are doing a workshop there out in Oslo. And we have some session. I don't know what session we're doing, but we're also doing a session out there. Yeah.
They haven't updated the site. I sent it to him yesterday, so we're just going to surprise you, Patrick. Like you'll find out when we get there. So yes, so yeah, we'll be at Fabric February, first week of February in Oslo. So
Benny, Adam and I have been on Amazon buying boots.
This is not. I'm from Texas, so I don't have that stuff. So we're working on ordering things. Yes, we understand. We know. We know the temperature right now, and that is a little bananas.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's keep rolling.
I know Matthew's triggering me.
Keep rolling.
All right. And I'm betting it's the same issue from before.
Keep rolling.
It makes me upset. All right.
Rolling, mess it up.
So. Let's see here. There were a couple of things just shouting out. So Johnny, member for 34 months. Appreciate you, buddy. He said, "Happy New Year, folks. Can't join today as I'm traveling, but have a good one." So appreciate you, Johnny, if you're listening back on it. Stina said, so member for 31 months. Thank you, Stina. Happy New Year to you as well. Mark, member for 44 months. Happy New Year. Love all the content and in-person conference opportunities. We saw Mark recently, and so it was great to see you, Mark. Hope to see you again soon. And then I can't pronounce your name, but we got a new member to GynaCube, so thank you for that. I can't read that, though. As good as Patrick says I am with names, I can't do that one.
Jason, I do not have any sessions at the Fabric Conference. I'm just going. I'm just going.
Jason and I just talked about that yesterday too. Your name will show up there.
I don't. I'll just be there. I'll just be there.
Yeah. No, Benny. Yes, I know how cold it is there right now. Multiple people have let me know. So, all right, let's go back and see who is new. What?
Jason, 12. Jason says I forgot I got 12 sessions.
He said that too,
and
and I remember you saying you were like being tagged on all these other sessions. So I'm like, all right, well,
zero.
Not this guy.
Session.
Let's see here. So Keith is new for the new year. I appreciate that. So is Mark. Isaac is new. Welcome, Isaac. Dragon is new. Hey Andre is new. London is new. Let's see who else is new. I'm not seeing any others. So, all right. I think that's it. So welcome everyone. Very appreciative of you being here, and hope you enjoy it and hope you come back. London said something is wrong. I don't know what, but you know. Okay. Anyway, all right. Rules. We have rules. So please put Q colon in front of your question. Get them in the queue. Chatmaster C is standing by to get them into the queue for us. One time is all you need. We try to get to as many questions as we can, but we don't get to all of them, so be fine. The sound things are still coming in, man. I know what it is. It's bad, but we're gonna roll with it. Oh my gosh.
It's been a struggle this morning, man. It's been a struggle this morning.
If we do have a 3 strikes rule here on Guy in a Cube, so if you repeat your question multiple times, Chatmaster C or one of our lovely moderators, after 3 times, you will get put into a timeout. Patrick won't do it, but other folks will. So please do not repeat. We get to as many as you can. Yeah, I know, Chris. It's fine. Yes. Behave yourself, people. Behave yourself.
Please.
All right.
Please.
Patrick, and the queue is light, so get your questions in. We got you have ample opportunity to get your question answered. So, and then members, we will be having a member-only chat at the halfway mark. So hold your questions until Chatmaster C gives you the green light. Let's roll. You ready, Patrick?
I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's answer some questions.
Yeah, Gilly Armo's got a question here. So, any near solution for field parameters with Direct Lake?
Just don't think it works. It's not supported.
Can't
do it yet.
Yeah, I'm not aware of anything. Coming on that. I do know, like in general, from a Direct Lake perspective, there's feedback coming in, and they're looking at improving that and adding capabilities and whatnot. Like one thing I've heard a lot is the ability to do calculated columns, but that doesn't necessarily make sense in that scenario, at least from my perspective.
Yeah.
Get the feedback in if that's something you really want. Go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com. Let me see if the chat thing is working. Plug that in, and then get it in there. So yeah, it works. Excellent. All right. Cool. Let's go on to the next one. Sandeep. Patrick was just talking about this. A video on when to use field parameters and when to use calculation groups, please.
It's written right there.
You just talked to me about that.
I did. It's coming. It's coming. I actually talked to Sekou about this over the holidays, about field parameters, and he was like, I'm going to use field parameter. I was like, don't use a field parameter for that. Use a calculation group, because you still have to create all the measures if you use field parameters. Use calculation groups to help minimize the number of measures. So it's coming, Sandeep. I'm sorry. There's just been a long list of videos. It's in the queue. It's in the queue.
Yeah.
Yep, it's on the board. It is absolutely on the board. User 457.
We just talked about this yesterday too. He was like, I'm doing that video. So, So it's coming. It's coming. Thank you for the reminder.
Kevin, it is on the box. It is on the box, Kevin. It is on the box.
Oh,
It is on the box. It is on the box. It is on the box, Kevin.
yep. So, sorry, going back to the field parameter thing, Benny commented that he thought you could get it to work with external tools, so like Tabular Editor, but it breaks web modeling UI. So, take that.
Yeah,
into account.
anything you do right with the XMLA will break the web model in the UI.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Benny. I'll try that. All right, Benny.
Yeah.
I'll try it. Maybe we'll see a video on it. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Kevin, he still has that.
I do. If you give it to me, if somebody gave it to me, I don't lose it. I keep it, Kevin.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Oh.
I do.
I'm sitting on my headphone cable, and I pulled it out when I moved my head. So, sorry.
Gotcha,
I was like,
gotcha.
wait, I can't hear anything. But I knew what it was. So, all right. Excellent. Thank you, Benny, for that comment. All right. No, it's fine. All right. Big John's got two. Big John's got a two-parter here, so let's go. Let's see here. The client asked me to bring comments from a SharePoint list. I did it in Power Query using web.contents with their website address along with a relative patch to bring them dynamically. On the desktop, everything works. On the service, the web connection accepts the credentials. I tried Chris Webb's solution, but without success. Any ideas what I can do? There was, so it was web.contents, and then there was another, was that the right one to use? I remember Alex.
I thought you had some kind of workaround or something you did for this a long time ago.
Yeah, but it was, so I remember like if you do the web, like through the GUI, it uses a specific function, but there was a different function to use. No, it wasn't file.contents. It was, oh my gosh, what was it? Well, so
Jason put something in here.
Well, so this is the question too. So you're using web dot. You said that you were using web dot. Where is it? Web dot contents. So are you using the SharePoint? You're not using the SharePoint connector, then, are you? So because Jason was saying use the V1 connector, not the V2, or use the SharePoint connector. So have you tried the SharePoint connector? Either V1 or V2, and does that give you better success? So definitely try that. Assuming it's SharePoint Online, right? So I don't, Jason, keep me honest, but the SharePoint connector only works for SharePoint Online, not SharePoint On-Prem, or does it? So, yeah, so I'm on, yes. It was like web.browser contents or something like that. There was a different function to use for the web thing, and that's like what Alex had mentioned, so. I'd have to dig that on. Yeah, it's online only for the, So Angelo, there's two though. Like there's web.contents, and then there was a different one that is not defaulted, but it, like Alex always said, like that works better. And that might have been what Chris Webb's blog was. I don't know what it is off the top of my head.
I don't know.
All right. So give that a try though. Play around with it. But outside of that, I'm not necessarily sure without the error messages what's necessarily going on there. So, yep. Cool. Yeah, SharePoint. All right. Hey, Andre has got a question here. Did Microsoft stop the free trial of Fabric? Couldn't sign up for it. So the trial is still there. So it's a trial capacity that you can get for your account. I just looked on mine. It still says 59 days, so I don't know that they've started the countdown yet. I haven't heard anything on that, so stay tuned on that. In terms of you couldn't sign up for it, there are a few things to be aware of, and this came up when we were doing our pre-con at, I guess it was PASS. So someone from Germany was mentioning it, and I'm just like, ooh, you happen to be the lucky one in the region that doesn't support it yet. If you're in the U.S., that is Central U.S., and so if your home region is Central U.S., the trials aren't going to work. You're not going to see the Fabric stuff. You could spin up an actual capacity like an FSKU or something and put it in a different region, and that will work. But if you're in Central U.S., you're not going to. it's not going to work. And then I forget what the region. There's a region in Germany also I know that doesn't. I want to say West Germany, or I don't remember which one it is. But that one also doesn't have it yet. So I don't know if that's. I don't know what region you're in, Andre. That might be a factor to it. So the other thing, though, is if you're just in an organization and your admin has turned off the Fabric trial capability, you won't be able to sign up for a trial. And so I don't know if that could be it, if you're a tenant admin or not. If you're not, maybe your tenant admin's actually turned it off on you, and that's preventing you from signing up for the trial. So lots of different reasons for it, but the trial's still there. So yes. Oh yes. Oh, thank you, Chris. Yes, I remember that is ringing a bell. There was a temporary pause on the trials during the holidays, and so that might have been what you ran into as well. Thank you, Chris. I don't know. It's been lifted now, but I don't know. I don't remember seeing any communication about that, so it could have caused confusion. I did bring that up internally, but I don't know whatever happened to it. So yeah. Benny's comment, I think, aligns to that. It was for new tenants where the trial was paused. So, but it should be working now. So give that a try. Yep. Cool. Thank you. All right, Nikki. Has conditional formatting line charts, specifically markers, been developed, or do we still have to do the bar chart workaround?
I don't think it's fixed.
Yeah, I don't think so
it's
either.
fixed. You remember how you had to go and do conditional formatting and switch it?
Yep. Yeah. So yes, so I think that's still the big thing. I would also say that if you're asking the question, chances are you didn't get it to work, and so yes, it's still a problem. So what are you looking at?
Oh, I just saw a question, and I'm doing a video. I'm doing a video on this.
All right.
I'm doing a video on this. This is great.
Nice. Oh, Patrick got distracted. Down the rabbit hole.
I did, but I already know. I knew the answer. I was just like, what? Anyway, let's go.
Dragon. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. And someone new to the live stream too. So thank you for throwing out a question. Have you experienced Dataflows Gen 2? I've experienced a lot with Dataflows Gen 2. So have you experienced Dataflows Gen 2 running much longer than regular Dataflows for the same data? If so, why is that? It's going to go into the it depends category.
The first one of the year.
First one of the year. Congrats. So for those not familiar with it, the it depends is anytime it depends is part of the answer. It doesn't matter how many times we say it depends, just if it's part of the answer. We put $1 into a jar. At the end of the year, we donate that to charity. So we did that on the last stream of the year. Actually, I was saying bad things to myself after the live stream on the 16th of December because I forgot to say it during the stream. We did actually donate it though, so and I appreciate everyone's participation on it, but I forgot to say it as we were wrapping up the stream. I was so excited on it. So the reason I say it depends, Patrick already kind of said it, is that if by default staging is enabled, and that could potentially cause it to be slower. I'm hoping to get the video recorded for that tomorrow. I got to go back through it though because some other things came up that caused some problems for me recording it. But try disable staging if it's not warehouse. If it is a warehouse, so if it's a lake house, if you're going to a lake house or you're going to some other source other than a warehouse, disable staging and see if that makes it better. And then if you are in a warehouse, staging has to be enabled. So it's going to be a bad day if you don't have staging enabled. And I believe there's an update coming which will force you to have staging enabled. So to be aware of that. The staging may be causing that for you. But I will say in the testing that I did, it improved significantly. It used to be a very stark difference, but now it was like maybe a 30-second difference. Like it wasn't like really bad. But there was a difference. So try disable staging. Also, depending on what you're doing in the Power Query, that could also be causing things. As always, I mean, you're saying you're comparing it to Dataflow's Gen 1 versus Gen 2. So if it's exactly the same M syntax, then yeah, I would do staging. If you have altered the M syntax, though, as with all things, verify you're still folding, verify all of those things. So, cool. All right. Pranay. Did you get a chance to try Copilot for Power BI, and what do you think would be the future of BI? I have played around with Copilot a little bit. So we do have it enabled in our tenant. It is rolling out to a tenant near you. I think the overall plans are to get that enabled by the end of March for everyone. So it's lighting up slowly but surely to different tenants. So it's a great tool, and it definitely helps you. But I'm gonna trigger Patrick here a little bit. It's based on your data too, so you got to make sure you take the time to do that. So if you just have one flat big table, and you haven't taken the time to really structure that a little bit, I don't know what your result on Copilot's going to be. It may be magical and just work, but my assumption is that it won't. And so don't look at Copilot and just think you can just give up on all the best practices and just forget about and just throw something in there and move on.
Yeah.
Still got to take the time. So it'll be interesting. I'm encouraged to see like the updates that will come. There's different Copilots that will be coming. The one for Power BI I know is going to be improved, and based on as people start really using it, and updates will come. So I'm encouraged by that. I think it's a good tool to help you, but it's not the end all be all. You're still going to have to do stuff. So.
Validate, right?
Yeah. Well, but I think it'll help you get started, and or you can shortcut some things, which is great. But you're still going to want to. You'll probably still end up doing like some tweaks and stuff to get it exactly how you want it.
It has potential, right? It has some really good potential, and I think it's going to be. I think as it develops, we're going to see some really, really interesting things from it. So yeah, I think it's cool.
So James, I like your comment. I would actually say, I think Patrick and I will take that and we'll say, let's try it. Let's try it against one flat table versus a star schema and see what the results are. Maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe it'll be identical. Who knows? Like that would be magical, right? If it was identical. Yeah. Although I will say one thing that I've seen. This actually caught us when with Jason and Pat, and when we did a session at a Power Platform conference. We went through it and I was like, it came up with a map of something, and I was just like, ooh, I'm gonna make a comment on that. And the map never came up when we did it live. And so like sometimes it's not always gonna be like, it's hard to like script things with it. Like if you're doing a session, because the results of it may be slightly different every time you run it. So just be aware of that.
But and then look at Paul's comment. You gotta follow best practices with naming tables, fields, all these things. And if you take a look at, even if you look at the doc for Copilot, it mentions those things, right? So don't just throw something out there with these strange names that don't mean anything, right? Garbage in, garbage out.
Well, where I'm hopeful, like we had the Q&A stuff where you had to do a lot of work with Q&A to really get that usable. And I'm hoping that can be not necessarily completely avoided, but reduced from a Copilot perspective, because I think it'll be able to figure things out a little better than Q&A was without all the synonyms. But you may still need some synonyms, things of that nature, to help it understand. Like especially if you have specific business lingo, that's not normal. It may not. So.
All
right. And Els, to your question, the answer is yes. Benny, oh my gosh, SAP. Benny loves SAP. It's a sweet mistress. All right, Richard. Let's go. Richard, what is the best way to connect flat files directly to a data set or via the new way? And I'm assuming new way, you're meaning like One Lake and like Lake House and all that. So I'm going to say one thing and then I'm going to hand it off to Patrick. It depends.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, that is a true statement. That is a true statement. That is a true statement. Yeah, something like that. But I don't. What do you mean directly? Because with a flat file, you got to import.
No, I think they mean like, should I just do it in Power BI Desktop and just import the flat file, or should I do it through like Lakehouse and all that stuff?
Are you consistently adding and changing data in those flat files, or is this a one-time thing? If this is a one-time thing, import it, do what you need to do, publish it, and be gone. All right.
How big is it?
Go ahead. Also, how big is it?
You just have one file you're bringing in, and it's like 200K.
So many. Yeah. So what are you trying to do, right?
Yeah.
If this is just, like Adam says, if it's just a small, single flat file, connect to it, build it. But if this is a process where you're getting more data, getting more files, it's going to continue to grow. I say glow. Glow. Continue to grow.
You can glow too, Patrick. It's okay.
Apparently with this shirt,
you're glowing right now.
But if it's a process that you're trying to write, and there's lots of flat files that's being brought into it, you got to put it somewhere. You got to put it somewhere, clean it up. I put it in One Lake, use data flows, pipelines, notebooks, something like that to clean it up, land into a lake house or warehouse, and then use Direct Lake. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll keep going for days on this. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it definitely depends. Like, look at your data, look at your business need, use the right tool for the right job. I would also say, like, if you're looking to explore the Lakehouse stuff. So first off, if you're looking at it as a learning exercise to learn Lakehouse and the different aspects of Data Factory inside of Fabric, go for it. Like, explore it. Like, figure out how it works, and then compare it to what you're doing on the import side and see what works better for like your long-term production.
This directly to data set. That's just kind of it's kind of catching me a little bit. I don't know what that means. Directly to data set.
Yeah. All right. Yash has a question. Is it possible to incremental refresh to warehouse tables via data flows, pipelines, instead of append or replace, user append? We just talked about this too.
We just talked about this. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There's a video coming.
It's the demo's already built. I just got to record it. There's a Prachi? Is that? No, that's Yash. Yash. Yeah. There's a video coming to show you how to do this.
Yeah. Yep.
And Alex Powers, if you go to It's Not About a Sale, I think that's his blog post. He has a blog out there that shows you how to do it already. I think that's Alex's blog. I don't know if somebody could find Alex Powers' blogs. The last blog post he put up, he shows you how to do it incrementally with a data flow and pipelines.
Yep. So, all right. So we are almost at the halfway mark, and RK Tech.
That was a good question.
I know. Hang on. RK Tech, thank you for the super chat. We'll get your question, the first one, when we go into the members only. So thank you for that. And Patrick, what was the question you wanted to grab? This will be the last one.
Can you get the descriptions? Can you get the descriptions from measures? Did you see it?
It's not in the queue.
Was it?
Who was it from?
Dang it.
Do you remember who it was
I don't know. I just saw it. And I don't know. Don't worry about it.
I don't even see that. I'm just searching, and I don't see it.
Don't worry. Yes, Toma. You're reading my mind, Toma. But anyway, I'm going to do a video on it.
All right.
I'm going to do a video on it.
So whoever did the question on the descriptions, so info.measures, go take a look at that. That'll get you pointed in the right direction. And we'll go from there. So
it was a member question. Oh, it's a member question. It's a member question. Never mind.
Wait, maybe that was RK's question. I don't know. We'll find out. All right. We are at, and Benny, thank you for dropping the link on the incremental data from Alex's blog. So amazing. All right. We are heading into member only chat. Chatmaster C has cleared the queue. So this is where members and moderators can participate in the chat, and everyone else can still view it, but won't be able to necessarily participate in the chat in the back and forth. If you did have a burning question, there were some in the queue still that we didn't get to. So if you did have a burning question we didn't get to, super chats always take priority. And so be sure to do that. And if you do the super chat, make sure you type in the questions. So RK Tech, I saw your super chat, and I saw that was right after you did some questions. So I'm just connecting those two. But better sound, Adam. I don't know what to do with that. No. Yeah, Patrick muted. He had some background noise. So all right. So we are going into member only chat. So members, get your questions in. And then I am going to switch over here. Let's get it switched. I'm assuming Patrick has some background noise, which is why he muted himself. Someone's causing some ruckus. The kids are still in the place. They're being all loud and rowdy. You need to get your kids in shape, Patrick. Tell them to hush it. Your dad's doing some work. He's got to do it. So, all right. So we are a member-only side. If you do want to learn about being a member, so I'm dropping the link in the chat again. Again, no commitment required, but if you want to check it out, check out the link in the description or in the chat, or you can check out the join button down below to learn more. And with that, let's get to the questions. So I don't have any pre-submitted questions, and so we are just going to jump right into the queue. And we're going to go with RK's question first, as I said. So let's see what it is. All right. So 8V processors, 192 gigs of RAM, on-prem analysis services versus Power BI Premium P2 capacity. So for those that don't know, P2 capacity has 32 cores it's 16 cores and 50 gig of RAM, or 50 gig of memory for data sets. So migrated the model from on-prem to the Power BI service as is without any changes, still performing slow through Excel. Part 2. We have autoscale is on an up to 80 capacity units. Autoscale is on, it throttles. What is the comparable capacity to match on-prem capacity mentioned in part 1? Looked Fabric capacity metrics. All right, so let me pull up. First off, I would say you're way off in terms of resources, but I have questions also.
Yeah.
Like, how big's the model? Like, you said the specs of the machine, but what's the model? Like, how big is the model in memory? I don't know. Like, you could have 192 gig on the machine, cool, but if your model size is only 5 meg, like, who cares about the machine size? I'm guessing it's bigger though, because
everybody's asking, how big is the model?
Yeah, how big's the model? That's the big question, is how big's the model? And do you have incremental refresh in there? Like, if you're refreshing, like, you're getting throttled.
Because they're on-prem. They're on-prem, huh? Oh, they migrated to
No, they migrated to the service.
private.
That's what I'm saying. So it's 3 gig in size. Is that on disk or in memory? Like, where are you seeing that 3 gig? Because that's super small. Here's the other thing to think about too. So model size, let's say it's 3 gigs in memory, and your the P2 capacity supports up to 50 gigs, so you're good on the memory side more than likely. Now there's other things that come into consideration, so there's query memory, other things like that, but the fact that you're getting throttled and you're having to go auto scale, we're not talking about memory, we're talking about CPU. Mm-hmm. We're talking about
you got
compute.
bigger problems.
And so you need to optimize your model.
Well, wait, are there other things on that capacity?
Yeah.
But did you just put that 3 gig model?
Yeah.
Is that 3 gig model on that capacity and causing is wreaking havoc on a P2?
Yeah.
Man, there's some other things going on with your model than just the size.
Yes. And so, all right, so I'm also dropping a link in the chat, and there's, if you go down to Fabric license types, there is a table in there. Let's go to my machine. I'll show it.
I'm going to say it depends, though, Adam.
It does depend.
Kevin, it depends. Okay.
Definitely check out this table, which gives you like the the comparisons between the premium SKUs and the F SKUs and the capacity units. It doesn't give the memory stuff, but just know the memory doubles. And so the F64 is 8 gig, and then it doubles at that point. Or sorry, it's 25 gig.
So we got a little more information here.
Oh, you got more stuff running on that capacity. So yeah. Like what? Like so. So the other thing there is, have you looked at the capacity metrics apps? What's chewing up CPU?
Let's find the problem. Let's find the problem.
Who's chewing it up? Like is it that 3 gig model that you just put in there that you migrated, or is it the other stuff and now it's starving out the compute, so you can't run the new model that you just migrated? So like you gotta look at that. The capacity metrics should help you figure that out.
Yeah, you gotta look at all of those models. Somebody's a noisy neighbor. Somebody's a noisy neighbor that's causing these problems.
Yep. So the refresh itself, I'm not overly worried about the refresh because that kind of gets smoothed out, and so it's more of the interactive stuff I think that's getting you, and everything hitting back and back. But like you got to look at who's burning the CPU and then go either optimize that. So, and I've told Patrick this, I've told other people this all the time. You've got 3 options. If you're getting throttled, you basically got 3 options. Either one, you can scale out. What does scale out mean? Well, now we've got query scale out, so that's a whole other thing. But I'm talking about like move it over to another workspace on a different capacity, right? So you're separating them out, right? 2, you can scale up, just get a bigger capacity, right? Throw more hardware at it and more money. More money. And so that's an option. And then your third option is optimize, right? So go through, figure out what's burning CPU and go fix it and make it reduce the CPU burn because of your optimizations. I was just talking to a customer this last week. They've been working on something that was just taking a long time to run. We brought in Phil Seamark, we had some help, and they were able to get like a 98% improvement on the query performance for something they were trying to get into production. That's bananas, right? So optimize it.
Yeah.
So it went from 12 minutes and had a 98% improvement on query processing time.
So one thing when and everybody else is commenting on this, they're also using Excel. Yeah. So there's another host of issues and Benny and everybody else is pointing out, David and everybody else is pointing out things about, with Excel. So you got to be really careful when you're doing things with Excel. Take a look at connected tables. I think that's what Benny said. Is that what Benny said? Yeah. Yep. Connected tables. Take a look at.
Marco. Go look at, like, Marco's got the tool out there, that DAX optimizer. Like, maybe, like, if that's the, again, identify where the CPU burn is, but then, throw the models into DAX optimizer and see what it comes up with. So that's always a good thing.
So many things here. There's so many things here.
All right. Jarrell got a super chat in there. Appreciate it. So it's second part.
He posted this before. He posted this I think
but I'm trying to look for the first part. I see there's a question in the queue from you, but it's but that's not related to your part 2. So I'm trying to figure out what that is. All right, I'm just going to go with that
Which map is what's the default map? What is that? What is the default map?
Did it switch over to Azure Maps? Or is it still
I don't know. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea.
Switching it over to Azure Maps. So the question is, any thoughts on removing longitude, latitude from default map tooltip? I don't know. So first off, which map visual are you actually using it? Is it the Azure Maps visual, or is it the regular maps visual? I don't know. You just got the notification on the on object, Patrick. Sorry, I'm looking at I see Patrick's screen on the side. So so I'd love to know what he said. They're the same. Okay. I don't know of a way offhand to just prevent that from being there by default, but if you add something into the tooltips, does that remove it or does it add on to it? I'd have to try it. If it removes it and just puts in whatever you put in the tooltip, then cool. You'll have to do that. I don't know of a way to just prevent it from being there by default. Now, I'm assuming it's putting in the tooltip whatever you put in as the data point. And I'm assuming you're adding longitude and latitude as the data point instead of like a zip code or a city or something like that. Okay, so Jarrell says it's not Azure Maps. And it doesn't remove it, it adds onto it. Yeah. So I think it's just adding in whatever the data points you put into the visual, that's what it's including in the tooltip. So I'd have to look to see if there's a way. I don't know of a way off the top of my head. Sorry about that. Yeah, custom tooltip may be a way. So that would bypass the default tooltip. Thank you for that, Chris. Oh, your first question was part one. All right. Yeah, because it was totally unrelated, so I didn't know. Yeah, it's got to be a custom tooltip is what Chris is commenting on. I would agree. Yeah, if it's adding on to it, custom tooltip's really your only option. Another option also for you, it doesn't help you in your current situation, but go to ideas.fabric.microsoft.com and get that in there as feedback. So that's definitely a thing to do. I'll grab the first one for you. So any practical suggestions on starting as a freelancer Power BI developer, how-tos, hardware, blog, etc.? Well, Patrick, you want to answer that? You've been a consultant before?
Honestly, I brought up his name earlier. Sekou just did this, and Jarrell. If you reach out to him on LinkedIn or whatever, I tell you what, he is going down. I mean, I've been talking to him a lot, and like he's honestly using LinkedIn as his platform to, establish his business, let people know that he's a Power BI developer. I mean, he's doing a great job. And so I would honestly reach out to him. I want to give you all of, all the things that I would suggest to do, but he's doing it today, right? He's not doing it back in the 1900s. He's doing it today in 2024 and 2023.
Well,
and he's taking some great steps.
I've talked, like Marco and I have talked as well, and Marco's touted LinkedIn as definitely used LinkedIn. Like it's a great platform to leverage things. So,
but reach out to him. I'm telling you, if you send him a message on, Adam knows. I mean, we talked to him. I mean, he'll give you all the information you want on how he got started. I mean, he started like 6 months ago, and I think he's got like 10 clients already. So he's doing something out there. Reach out to him.
So Benny's also mentioning reach out to Eugene as well. He's been doing it for a little bit. And then Chris, the 1900 Power BI developer, very different consulting. So it's the mature offer.
1900 Chris, 1900s, man.
So I'll say also, just from if you're going in and you're unknown, you got to think about brand also. So don't forget about that aspect of it. And so you got to build a brand, and that takes time, right? So it takes you producing content, working with folks, maybe doing some free stuff just to get in the door. So it's you got to think about all those things. There's from a brand perspective also, there's a book I always recommend to folks. It's called Primal Branding. And so check that out. I'll drop an Amazon link here to it if you want to look at it.
So while Adam's doing this, so James just said, was it James who said this? Yeah, James said this. So community events, Jarrell, if you can get out to like a SQL Saturday or users groups, people are always looking for consultants and people to do work. So definitely get out there. Conferences, if you can get to a conference, great place.
Seeing an old version of it.
Benny just put out Brent's. Brent's another one, right? Yeah.
So this should be it. It's a good book. The cover art is different from what I remember, but that's it.
Yeah.
Go look at it. It's got like 7 or 8 parts of a brand, and those are things to think about as well. But it's take part, local user, get involved in user groups, they do the community thing, like that, networking, right? So it's making connections and providing value. So like don't go there just trying to sell stuff, right? You got to provide value. And be part
I'm going
of
to use group Monday. Going to one on Monday here, not too far from my house. Damu
talking about the SQL Saturday in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Alex is delivering a wonderful pre-con. Check him out.
Yep. All right,
I
cool.
don't know if Alex is here today. I don't know if
He's
Alex
not.
is here today. I
He's
don't
got
see
some
him.
family stuff going on. So.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. So Jarrell, thank you for the super chat. Great question. All right, and moving on. There's a lot of member questions today. Julio.
Yeah.
I have a P1. If I use a Lakehouse Delta table and run a notebook to process some information with PySpark, will the memory storage and CPU consumed from these processes be the same P1 resource? So, yeah, whatever workspace those items are in, if that's assigned to the P1 capacity, that's the compute, that's the resource you're using, right? So it's got to be backed by capacity, and so that P1 is the capacity. So, yes, 100%. And you should see that in the capacity metrics app. You should see that those activities are consuming resources. So,
Not a it depends. Not a it depends.
Yep. Not an it depends. That is a yes.
Definitely.
So cool. All right, user 457. Off topic. Microsoft Entra ID, so that's the Azure AD stuff, and SSE, the VPN replacement. Should I nudge IT on this now? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not an expert in that area. Patrick might be. Patrick, what do you think?
Yeah, right.
I don't know enough about it to really comment on it. So, yeah.
It's not Kerberos? It's not Kerberos?
That's not Kerberos. That's not Kerberos. So, no, that's not
Jason
Kerberos.
said it.
That's not
Jason
Kerberos. It's
said
like
it.
Kerberos. It just works. I don't know.
Not me, bro. Not me. Not me. That's right, Chris. Not me, bro.
I think
Not
Patrick's trained that every time I say, "Oh, this is a Patrick question," he's like, "No, it's not. I don't even know what it is yet, but that's not me."
That's right, Chris. Not me.
No,
wait,
Scott.
Benny said something. Benny said something.
Yeah. All right, Benny's
SEC.
commenting.
Yeah.
He said, "Not right now. Wait, conditional access is more usable right now." So the other thing too, like even like thinking about like Fabric and Power BI, if we're thinking about it from that lens, like the conditional access stuff will work there. The VPN stuff on that, I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about it to comment, but I know conditional access absolutely will help you with from a security perspective on Fabric and for Power BI. So.
Nah, not me. Not me, bro. Not me. That's
all
right,
right.
Chris. That was a good one. That's a good one. Not me. Not me, bro. On to the next one.
All right. Thomas. Any issue with calculation groups and chart axes?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what do you mean? I don't know. Like, I mean, I've seen using calculation groups with charts. So, like,
I'm not
what
sure.
specifically? I don't know if there's more to it than that. So
Maybe
the
maybe
y
you've
axis,
seen
yeah,
something.
right? I get
Maybe-
that. I'd have to look more. Like, I'm not aware of any issues. I'd have to try. So, yeah. All right. And Tom.
Reed said it. He said Reed said it. I'll have to go look.
Yeah, I'd
I'll
have to
go
look.
look.
I'm not aware of
Thomas,
anything
I
off the top of
don't
my
know.
head. That's not to say there isn't.
Yeah.
So, but I need like an actual like example of something and then like playing
Yep.
around with it. Okay. Chris commented maybe not resizing properly. Okay.
That's funny.
So also, Els, I see your question there. Kevin, I don't know if you can respond with the amount. I think it was like $313. I think off the top of my head. All right, on to the next one. Drawer. What's your angle on the usage of AI assistants to be more productive? Aside to best practices in shortening learning curves on different areas of BI. Look, it's still new. It's something there to help you. It's a tool in your tool belt, right? It's not the end all be all of it. Like, I think the misconception is people hear AI and they think like, oh, this is just going to do my job, or it's going to get rid of my job or whatever. I'm like, I've used it. Your job's okay. At least like thinking about it on the fabric side, right? So, but it's a tool. So it could help you speed things up. It could maybe just help you shortcut some things. Right, but it's not. It doesn't get rid of the fact that you got to validate it. You gotta know like what you're doing. We said this before. Make sure your data is good. So like, there's still stuff you got to do to make sure that that's successful and giving you the right output. So yeah, so it's you can be successful with it, and you can leverage that to help you look like a rock star. But yeah.
Look at Benny's comment. Thank you for saying it, Benny.
Yes,
Thank you for saying it, and I didn't have to say it. Thank you.
So I will
Benny.
say on the Fabric Cat side, once the cat was out of the bag on Copilot, and like everyone was like, I need it right now. I need it right now. And so there was all this churn. And it's been a lot of work. Just
I appreciate that, Benny.
Handling customers. So yes.
Yeah.
But once you get
it.
it, give it a try, see what it is, and so. But yeah, no, there's still work for you to do. There's still your job is fine. It's still there. Yeah.
Jeez. Benny, that's good, Benny. I love it, Benny.
All right. Scott Powell, two-parter. I saw Lakehouse in there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm loading Lakehouse from on-premise SQL Server, then moving to data warehouse. Gen 2 data flows to Lakehouse 50% faster than to data warehouse. I move Lakehouse data to data warehouse using insert into data warehouse table, select column list from Lakehouse. Interesting. Part 2. This is faster than the copy activity. I tweak names between Lakehouse and warehouse for semantic model, added space, etc. Is there a better way for hard coding SQL for hundreds of tables when names don't exactly match? Go for it.
So let me ask you this though: are you dropping? It depends. It depends. I'm gonna just say it depends. This is like 18. It depends. Go the first part though. You say you're copying the data to the Lakehouse and then you're moving it to the warehouse. Why? Why? I don't understand.
I think part of it was so he could change the names for the semantic model. Because Lakehouse has restrictions, so like you can't use spaces and things like that. I don't know if that was all the reasons, but he did mention that in the question.
Oh. Can you go back to part one?
Hold, please.
I don't care about how fast it is. I'm confused about. You can't go back to part one, can you?
Wait, hang on.
Okay. I think Mark is saying he's putting it into the file section. That's where I'm going with this. I think in part one they're dropping it to the file section, and then they're trying. Then he's trying to. Yeah, I'm loading Lakehouse from on-prem SQL, moving. So are you writing data to the file section, or are you writing them to tables in the Lakehouse? That's what I want to know. And then if you're writing them to the Lakehouse, then you're reading them using the SQL endpoint. Is that what you're doing? Reading them using the SQL endpoint into the warehouse?
Yeah, that's what he called it.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Why are we taking all these steps?
Well, and I know that because he said the way he's doing it is using an insert into. So I'm like, you're doing that through TDS. So
yeah, man, it's gonna be so slow. It's gonna be so slow. This is a this is a big question.
Well,
and
so
I don't think we can answer that right on the stream.
So I think the thing you got to look at is you're somewhat comparing apples to oranges because of the files versus the TDS part.
Yeah.
And I know performance is something that is being looked at overall, and so I'm confident this will get better. The other thing I know is but you're doing the insert because I know like on go ahead.
No, keep going. Go to part
Well, I was
two,
gonna say,
though.
like, I
Go to
know,
part
like on
two.
the data flow side and some other, like, there's some other thing in pipelines. There's some things coming there to help speed operations up, and so like maybe look at other, like, try pipeline or try data flows and see if that's better. Like it
Yeah.
might be going through a different
But go-
operation. Go ahead.
But go to part two. Go to part two now.
Oh, jeez.
Because you just can't do this. You don't have like a clicky thing on
I
your
got rid of it. I
vMix or
removed
your
it from the queue.
Stream Deck.
You keep going
Okay,
back.
anyway. And so, yeah, I know. I needed to
an
understand.
Adam
You
problem.
click too fast before it is
It's
an
an
Adam
Adam
problem.
problem.
And so, and then he's talking about hard coding, right? Hard coding. So if you're once the data is there, I mean, the endpoint. I was just showing Adam this. I mean, you could do dynamic, and I know. You can do dynamic SQL, and I created a stored procedure that generates everything for me using schemas and information. So you don't need to do this over and over again. It's just like a pipeline. You can parameterize that pipeline so that you can dump all these tables pretty quickly using SQL. I'm going to show this in a video that's coming up. You can generate. I showed it to Adam. He's like, "What is that?" But you
He's
can
like,
generate.
should I show this? And I'm like, you just lost everyone watching the video, but sure, show it.
But you can do this, and I just wrote this one stored procedure that accepts a name, table name. I generate a list of columns. It generates the SQL. It generates the insert statement. It generates the update statement, and then it runs it. You know, so I mean, there's so many layers to this question. The performance, why is it slow? No spaces. That's something, you know, that we need to talk about. Then hard coding. Don't hard code. Look at a way to make it dynamic. You can use pipelines. You can use SQL. You can even use a notebook to do this if you want to clean some stuff up before you bring it to the warehouse. So,
Or before you bring it to the
so
lake
many
house.
things, yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that you can do there.
Yeah, information schema, Toma. Information schema. When you see my little query that I wrote, right? His information schema is beautiful. You can
Little
generate you can generate all types of stuff with information schema. I use SQL to generate SQL. I wrote a whole generator
like
for
Inception.
SQL. So
It's Inception.
it is. So probably not the best thing to do, but it worked. You know, it worked. So anyway, it's a lot. That's a lot, Scott.
Automated T-SQL
it's got
is
a
the
mi-
best T-SQL.
It's got a member. Can he send us an email?
Yeah, because we're
Is it
in
possible?
member-only section, man.
Oh, shoot. Scott, can you send all that to me in an email?
So, yeah, Scott, send it to, if you just go to the website and do the contact us and put it in there, we can
Yeah,
respond to it.
send it to me, Scott. Send it to me.
Okay. You have
Yeah.
Patrick's attention.
Yes, you do have my attention.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
All right.
You do.
All right, moving on. Toma, any plan to open exploration features to viewer roles with integration of RLS? Currently, you have to have build rights for it. Yeah. I don't think so.
Any plans?
I-
The new Explore feature.
Yeah, there's like the
new
Explore capabilities,
feature.
but it requires build
yeah,
access.
yeah.
So like a straight viewer is not going to be able to do that. So I think what you're bumping up against here also is a conflict of roles, right? So when I know some of this is like meant for like just someone consuming the content, they can go do certain things and maybe play around with things. But the other part of it with some of the Explore content, I think, was targeted towards authors, which is why it's not enabled for viewers without build access. So the reason for the build piece is that it's an authoring type capability. So I'm not aware of plans to change that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because you need certain rights on the data set to be able to use those capabilities, and basically you're crafting a query against the data set at that point using the Explore functionality. So that's why you need the build access to it.
Yeah.
So ideas.fabric.microsoft.com.
Yep.
Good comment. Good comment.
I forgot about the Explore feature. That's pretty cool. I like the Explore feature.
Doesn't come up very often, but it's a thing. It's a thing. I'd love, and Toma, I'd love to understand also your scenario too of like where are you trying to take advantage of that? Like what's the reasoning for just wanting it without build access? Those would be good things to know as well. So if and also if you do, and this is just a general statement to other folks, if you do submit something on the ideas site, please put what the business case is and like what you're trying to accomplish instead of just saying give me this feature. That's way more helpful. So, all right, Robin. Good to see you, Robin. Trying to help some clients make the swap to Fabric and Direct Lake is always the big draw, but still no ability to do things like field parameters. Are they on the roadmap? So this was a question early in the stream. You may have I knew you were a little late, Robin. You may have missed it. But I think that was actually the first question of like, hey, field parameter usage against Direct Lake. And it's not a capability right now. So I don't know if that's on the roadmap. I know they're continuing to look at improvements. Go ahead.
Well, Benny said that you can use external tools to create calc groups.
Yeah.
But it disables the web model authoring. I'm going to go try this, and I'll let you know what I find, Robin. I'm going to try.
So
I wrote it on the board.
You could try it, but just understand the. No worries, Robin. But overall, like even like for web modeling support and other capabilities, the team is continuing to look at capabilities and improving that. So keep the feedback coming in. But if you want to play around with a sample and try like Tabular Editor doing it there and see if that works, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
But you do break web modeling on that.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Thomas Powers, not related to Alex Powers, or are you? Making an assumption there. In Power BI, what is the best way to switch between calendar and fiscal year with a large data model?
A good calendar table.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good calendar table.
I'm like, you're switching, so like, I'm like, hopefully those attributes would be in the calendar table, and we could.
Yeah.
Now, well, so there's the other thing too, is if you want to give people the ability to show calendar versus fiscal, like and swap them, like, so that's something.
A good calendar table.
Yeah. Like my answer's still the same. Well, but I mean, like, so assuming you have a good, so it depends. Yes, this is an it depends. But Patrick, assuming you have the good calendar table, how would you do that in a visual? Like, how would you swap those?
I mean, you swap the columns, right? Make field parameters. You can do field parameters. Drop some field parameters on them.
Or take advantage of bookmarks, right? And you could have different visuals that show both and just swap them in and out, right? So there's different options there.
Oh, we need to write this on the board.
No, Chris, it isn't. It depends because it's depending on like, well, what are you actually looking at? Assuming you have the good calendar, like, what are the different options for actually doing that?
Yeah.
Like that,
I got it. It absolutely is. It depends.
Yes.
It absolutely
but yes, you have to have a good calendar table first.
Yeah, you gotta have a good calendar table, and I would just use Bravo. Honestly, I would use Bravo to create. If you don't have one, right, and create that calendar table.
Shout out to Bravo.bi. Go to Bravo.bi.
Yeah, I would use Bravo to create it. Use some field parameters. Man, I guess we're gonna have to do a video on that one and show you how to do it. But a good calendar table is the answer. Yes. It is.
All right, and as I took that question and I saw someone said they had to go, and I looked at the clock, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're over time.
But we didn't get to the other question.
Yeah, there's other questions. Which one do you want?
How do I see
I have
description
4 more.
of
I don't see
calculation groups is another one, Toma. It is. Okay, never mind. I'll just do a video on it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I tried searching for the word description and nothing came up, so I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. So, all right, everyone. Thank you for being here on the first stream of 2024, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Matthew Roach will be on the stream next week, so excited about that.
Oh, because I won't be here.
Yeah, you're not going to. You got to go deal with some family stuff yourself.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, any closing words of wisdom?
Hey, it's a new year. Guess what? It's okay to make mistakes and change things, right? To do some changes, make some challenges. Try something new. I've been thinking about this, right? This year, I challenge everybody to go try something new. So yeah, that's it. That's it, Adam.
I love it. All right, everyone. Thanks for being here, and we will we'll see you next week. Have a great next week.
Yeah.
See ya.
And I'm inside my head and I think that it's time to get out. It might be a brand new day. I hold your a hand till it stops its shaking, and we'll have enough sun we can make it through the winter.